Hello, finally I found some inspiration to make another review and hopefully I will continue doing them at least from time to time when I have such opportunity. And today I want to tell you about TinHiFi T3 Plus, pretty affordable single dynamic driver in-ear monitors made by TinHiFi. I don't think that TinHiFi requires any promotion. Everyone knows about this company. They have a wide range of products. First their models were focused on the resolution and micro contrast, but then they decided to retune the lineup and offered more traditional types of tuning. But still many their models are really competitive and offers great price to quality ratio. Let's see what about T3 Plus. Their price is $70. Link to the shop I will add to the description, of course. And this model isn't new. It was released somewhere last year, and many of you already know about this model, heard it, but anyway, it's still a pretty competitive model, so let's have a closer look. As you can see, in terms of package, they continue their minimalistic approach with white cardboard outside, and I still miss their signature book-like package of first T2 models. And inside of this white cardboard we getting another box made of great cardboard now. So some warranty card, manual and other not that interesting stuff. Storage pouch. Stock cable. Nice set of tips, two sets of 3 pair each, and of course earpieces themselves, and they are pretty hard to pull out. So let's do it this way. As you can see, accessory set is pretty basic for this price, but definitely not the worst. In terms of design, they are super traditional. Just some kind of resin, nice ergonomic shape, fitting really well into ears, having pretty lengthy spouts, so passive sound isolation is also slightly above average. They will be pretty decent on the street or in the public transport, but of course in some noisy environment you'll need something with active noise cancelling or something with deeper fit. Build quality is nice, everything looks okay, metal spouts with lip for holding the tips, with protective grill, so all that elements that I pay attention are on the place. You can see the internals, but here they are super traditional. It's just single dynamic driver, some wiring and socket, and that's it. And nice swirly faceplate, so just traditional approach to the design, but in my opinion it's kinda good. And stock cable, actually pretty nice, I like it. It's not something superb, but in general it's really good, comfortable, soft, with low microphonics. As you can see, a bit tangling, but it's easy to untangle. And thanks to TinHiFi, they decided to use 2-pin connectors. I think in the affordable segment it's a really logical choice. So fitting nicely, holding well, there are ear hooks formed, but there is no microphonic effect, so ear hooks are not that important here. Cable is pretty soft, really good, not getting hard when it's cold outside. Not sure about durability, it's required to wear them for a year at least to see how it will behave, but in terms of build quality it looks nice. Metal splitter with chin slider, and below the splitter it goes braided 4 wires down to the traditional metal jack. So, to summarize this part, as you can see, in terms of design, accessories, package, build quality, everything is pretty good for this price tier. And of course about the sound, I burned them in for 48 hours, basically same 2 days that took me to complete Disco Elysium. I have to restart it because I didn't want to be a bad cop. Anyway, let's go back to the sound, and actually same story as for T2 Plus. For T3 Plus, TinHiFi decided to make more mass market tuning. Less audiophilic model, more pleasing the tastes of a wide audience. They are V-shaped but not a traditional V-shaped, and into my taste they are not overdone. Of course, don't expect here like balanced armatures focus on the micro contrast, for example, but at the same time you get here really coherent sound, proper weight distribution, all that strong parts that good dynamic driver can give you. But let's describe step by step. Bass is accented, but actually main accent is made on the deeper layers of bass. It's not like, guttural rumbling or super deep bass, but at the same time low bass is present and it has nice impact. Mid bass also pretty accented, but slightly less comparing with deeper bass. And in terms of resolution, it's a typical dynamic driver. It's normal, not superb, but pretty normal, and it will give you nice balance between weight, resolution, texturing. So really well balanced, not superior in any of these aspects, but definitely not bad too. And as for example, probably it would be more logical to select something like Musica Nuda to show that they performs well with real instruments. But I decided to select Prodigy Mindfields with nice, interesting, deep bass here that appears and disappear, and actually this model represented nicely. Of course, it's not the perfect match for this track, because if you have a lot of such music, you need something more bass head. But at the same time, this model sounds pretty enjoyable. Mid frequencies are rolled off slightly comparing with bass and treble, of course, but they doesn't sound too veiled or too laid back thanks to the good resolution. Of course, earphones don't try to be focused on the micro contrast. They don't trying to be super resolving, but at the same time, resolution is nice, and you definitely won't lose any details. It's not that typical for nowadays tuning, when earphones try to overwhelm you with amount of small nuances and details. If you need that, you can select T2 or some other models by TinHiFi, or T3 not Plus version, and in exchange this model gives you nice balanced musical mids, and at the same time with good sense of realism and with nice amount of overtones and small nuances, with a really good weight distribution and body, slightly boosted emotions and dynamics, but not overdone. Imaginary stage is above average, not huge, but still above average. They are not super nitpicking in terms of quality of record, but still something properly recorded would be a plus for them. And as an example for the mid frequencies, I've got Joe Cocker Tonight. It's all about vocal, of course, but instrumental part is also nice, but vocal is playing main role here, and these earphones render voice with a really good amount of emotions. And the treble is slightly accented. To my ears, it's not too much and it's not overdone, but I've read some opinions that there is too much treble here. Maybe it's a matter of taste, and if you're sensitive to the high frequencies, it's better to try this model before buying, but in my opinion they are not sharp, they are not harsh. Extension is just slightly above average, but at the same time it's pretty nice in terms of overtones, delivery, and sounds pretty balanced, not super sharp and not forward, but at the same time with nice resolution. And as an example, Miles Davis 1 and 1. Usually Miles Davis associates with a kind of blue, but for me on the corner is well, maybe not more interesting, but I like it more. It's subjective, of course. And one, there is a percussion, there is a lot of instruments that goes to the treble area. Of course, to fully show the potential of this track, you need something much more expensive, but at the same time, T3 Plus plays well with this track too. In terms of pairing, they can be used with a smartphone or tablet or laptop, but some small USB digital to analog converter would be beneficial for them. They don't require some superb source, but something slightly better than average would be nice. Speaking about the comparisons, just a few models dynamic drivers that I can recall. And T2 Plus, comparing with T2 Plus by TinHiFi, this model is slightly more technical, more resolving and more airy, more breathing sound. What else we've got? Moondrop Area 2021, they are slightly less V-shaped and slightly more mid-forward. Not much, but just slightly. And the Ibasso IT00, they are more aggressive, slightly more sharper and more energetic, more highlighting emotions and boosting that. There are a lot of other models probably in this price range, but I decided to focus on these three models. And to summarize, if you're looking for the model with some nice tuning, not audiophilic and not too taste-based, not too colored, it's a pretty good option to consider. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and hopefully see you next time.